Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Hello, you're listening to the podcast. So there I was. It's how all great aviation tales begin. This is episode 216, Crossing the Pond. No, really it is. This week is two segments from the stories that we recorded live in North Carolina at the Harrier Sundown Ceremony. First is Ag, and he takes us through a tense desert storm tanker ocean crossing packed with night refueling, bad weather, and a few moments that could have gone very wrong. Then DC, Derek Holmes of DCArtworks.net joins us with a wild Afghanistan mission story about a C-130, a dangerous ramp moment, and the kind of teamwork that keeps airdrops moving. As always, thank you to all of our Patreon, Donor Box, and Venmo supporters. Special thanks this week to Charles Yost, who threw a Jackson into our pot. And a big thank you to Derek of DCArtworks.net, both for participating in the recording session and for being a show sponsor. The second segment that you'll hear is with Derek and him telling his nighttime terrifying experience over the black is the inside of a cat's night in Afghanistan. Before we get into this week's show, I had thought I'd prepared a list thanking all of our donors who keep the show going up and running. And as I read through it, I realized there are just some mistakes. So I'm going to try and prepare that for next week and do that as a segment in and unto itself. I'm going to say now, however, I will do my very best to go back and look over all the cocktail napkins that I wrote things on and the spreadsheets and the donor records that come with Patreon and Donor Box and Venmo, and I'm still going to screw it up. I can almost guarantee it. But if I do, I'm going to tell you now, and next week, please reach out to me. I want to make it right. In the meantime, all I can tell you is hang on tight. Make sure your wings are unfolded and locked in place and you're not sitting on that ejection seat handle. Here comes Ag and DC.
This here is a true story about crossing the pond at night in the world's smallest cockpit on the tanker through the weather. Oh, and to the tanker crew who did that, thanks a lot. We really appreciated that. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Well, there I was, crossing the pond.
Glad to be here. Call sign is Ag, and the story I'm going to tell you is literally about crossing the pond on the way to Desert Storm.
All right.
We launched out of Rota, but let me back up a step. We had... my wife's sitting over there. We had a goodbye on the ramp at Cherry Point at midnight to go meet the tankers to fly us over to Rota, Spain. And it was like some sort of a scene from Casablanca. It was ridiculously romantic. Anyway, we got going, and I led the cell across, even though I was the XO at the time, because the skipper was down with a head cold, took the C-130. So we rendezvoused with the tanker, and this is call sign only. So we have 3 on one side, 3 on the other side, and first thing you do, night tanking, is you go in and you take a sip immediately.
Just make sure everything's working.
Yep, you got to do that. If you don't do that, you're dumb.
Yep.
Everything is working. Everybody got a sip. Now we're headed over. And one of our cell had an issue. He couldn't keep up. He couldn't get to the basket, even at full power.
Oh, ooh, that's a problem.
Well, it's a little bit of a problem. So I dropped down to look at what's going on. And sure enough, the exhaust nozzles are like red hot. He is riding this thing hard.
Oh.
So I do the XO thing and they say, hey, we're like flight level 240. I said, can you drop it back? And they kicked off about 20 knots. He still couldn't keep up.
You asked the tankers to slow it down a little bit.
You have to.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem with the KC-10 is if you get it too slow, then what's happening is he's creating so much drag that yes, and you can't get in the basket even if you have a clean jet. Well, Curly wasn't in the flight. Neck was the center. And so Curly says, "Hey, Neck, put your speed brake in."
Oh,
That's how the flight started. We got all that cleaned up. Everybody's got good gas. And we continued across the Atlantic. And one thing I never thought I'd see in my entire career was a tanker fleet coming out from Europe to meet us and turning. We picked them up with their contrails at like 50 miles. And we didn't have radars back then. And turning exactly to meet us. And I thought,
right in front.
These Air Force dudes, they know what they're doing. And they did. And so we popped off of those tankers onto the other tankers and continued to Rota. But the real story begins in Rota because we launched again late at night rendezvous. This time, the KC-10s met us. Everything's going great. When we went to maintenance control, one of the jets did not have a probe light, and it was a dark-ass night. So, yeah. So I'm the field grade officer, so I go, okay, I'll take that one, which turned out to work to my advantage because we tanked on this tanker for a while, and then he dropped us off with another tanker, which is an Air National Guard tanker that was going to take us all the way in. So the first thing you do, of course, is you take a sip.
Yeah.
You have to. So we dropped down, and I went, and I did, without a probe light, I'm doing the softest plug I possibly can do. And it hits that probe, and it was metal-to-metal contact on this particular one. Hit that probe, and I saw the sine wave start immediately. Goes up to the tanker, and I know what's going to happen.
Right back.
It's going to come back and snap my probe off, and I'll spend the rest of the war in Crete or someplace. So,
Worst places to spend the war?
yeah. So as I watched the sine wave come back, I was actually able to ride it. And I told the tanker what's going on, backed out. So the thing rolls up, rolls back, and they go, yeah, you're right. This is bad. Well, the other tanker had still been hanging around. Now we enter the top of a thunderstorm, and we're getting St. Elmo's fire like you cannot believe. And I'm watching these two tankers as they get close to one another. They finally got done talking to Omaha, and they say, okay, here's the deal. We're going to give all of our gas to the good tanker, and he'll take you all the way into Saudi Arabia. Only they weren't allowed to say Saudi Arabia. It was like to your destination.
Yeah.
So on we press, and the lightning starts as the tankers are transferring fuels. And you can see the lightning going from tanker to tanker as they get yeah. And I thought, this is going to be great. They're going to write to my wife and tell her he blew up over the Mediterranean and didn't quite make it, me and all my friends. Well, long story short, it was a horrible night. Finally saw the sunrise, flew over the Nile River Delta, actually, kind of headed to the Red Sea just like Moses.
Yeah.
Right? And I look out on the horizon. I look out on the horizon, and the temerity of the E-2, the Israeli E-2, who was coming over to snoop on us. So I said, you guys stay here for a second. Now, I went by and made a close ID on this guy. And he must have thought I was going over there to thump him because he was impressed enough. He leveled wings and moved kind of out of the way. We continued on. Long story short, we fought the war. We're coming home, but we're Harriers. We don't need to go back on the tanker track. We can go home on Kennedy. We can go home on Saratoga, which we did. So landed aboard Kennedy, which was also kind of emotional because the ship turned to recover us right outside the Straits of Gibraltar. Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we all land aboard. Well, one of the nice things about being on an aircraft carrier, as all naval aviators know, is mid-rats. So about 2 nights into that cruise, going up for mid-rats, and the guys ahead of us wearing their E2 patch. And they looked at us. They go, "Oh, you're the Harrier guys." And I swear to God, this is a true story. The guy looked at me and he goes, right before the war started, a Harrier guy almost took us out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a close friend of yours?
Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah. And I just said, the bastards.
Yeah.
Right. Who do they think they are? That's a true story. Swear before the Lord.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And just to clarify things, that we're talking about WW Gulf War I, the big one.
Yep.
That we won in like, what?
4 days.
4 days, 6 days?
Which kept us out with Fig.
Yeah.
Well, thank God the Marines on the ground were only engaged for 4 days. We were engaged a long time before that to make sure that they would only be engaged for 4 days.
Stripped the backfield for them.
Well, we tried our best.
You guys were flying out of King of Dual Z's?
We were. And at the time, the tactics that you trained for were not the tactics that needed to be employed because
that created a lot of problems for us, didn't it?
It did, because evidently we didn't learn the lessons from World War II and Vietnam, where you don't go down there and mix it up if you don't have to. The problem was that none of the weapons that these guys now enjoy were capable of doing the things that you actually needed to do. Like, for example, 1,000-pound bombs, but there was no seeker on them. So wherever the jet said the bombs were going, and thankfully the Harrier was very good at predicting that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yeah, I guess that portion of it was something I guess I'll remember for the rest of my life.
That's pretty damn awesome.
But I'm glad we don't have to do that again. I would do it again, but I'm glad we don't have to do it again.
Well, that's fantastic.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Yes,
service.
sir.
Thank you for the story.
Yeah.
Mind telling us how you got your call sign?
Yeah. Texas Aggie, class
Oh,
74.
my God.
All right, hold on. Let me erase this.
Yeah, I picked it up when I was a forward air controller. I started out flying helicopters. They put me in a forward air controller role. Yeah, there you go. All right. Well, gentlemen, great speaking with you.
Thank you, brother.
Yep.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marie. God bless you.
Woo!
Yeah.
That man
beer.
All right, where's my next victim? Come on up, brother.
So there I was, sitting between the two pilots of a C-130, zagging through the valleys of Afghanistan. We're just loving life. Hey, Fig, we're just loving life. And out of nowhere, the navigator says, 1 minute advisory. And we hear from the back, 1 minute to what?
Oh, boy. 1 minute to what? Which we had a patch made eventually out of that. We'll let you tie the bow that. We'll let you tie the bow on that in a minute. But you just heard from Derek from DCArtworks.com, who's been
.net, DCArtworks.net.
DCArtworks.net. That's DCArtworks.net. He is with us today in Moorehead City, North Carolina, and his wares are set up next to us. True artist. Right now, there's a display next to us of every Harrier squadron patch, tail flash. I mean, what do you got?
Look what Bega's holding up here.
He's holding a 3D version of our Naval Aviation Wings of Gold, 3D, made out of steel, metal.
Painted
Tell
gold.
us about that.
Looking gorgeous.
What goes into making something like that?
Oh, geez. Well, let's just say an entrepreneur is a will to make some money.
Okay.
And
I like it.
Maybe over the course of a 24-year career, seeing a lot of really shitty awards and not being a fan of that. So just having a vision, being able to take a piece of, flat 2-dimensional artwork and in your eye, just look at it and make it 3-dimensional and then bring it to life one step at a time. And so that's what I try to do with all my pieces is when I started doing this 4 years ago, I never really looked at things as this perspective, and it drives my wife nuts now because I can't look at anything without going, all right, how the hell can I make that out of metal?
Right on.
Right. Right. And so it's kind of just become wired and a passion of mine. But roundabout way to answer your question, how do I get from a 2-dimensional to what Bago was just holding up?
No, it's truly
Just-
3-dimensional.
Yeah,
You
I
layered
guess,
it.
I guess I have a little bit of artiste.
And laying over here on the table in front of us, you got both models of the Harrier that was ever flown, the B
A-firm.
model and the A model.
A-firm.
They're beautiful, and they're flat, and they're made into bottle openers. And then you got tail flashes. You got, what's it, P7 panel, squadron emblem art, plan form view. I mean, for crying out loud. Is there
Silhouettes,
anything you
name
can't
it.
make?
No.
So
Okay.
and
No.
we're going to have
Leave it at
Bago is going to help out here. He's going to grab one of the big patches, one of the big Bulldog squadron patches that we've got here. Well, I think he is. It may be secured.
You've got that one fastened on the back.
Try the other one. Try the other one then.
Or just pick the whole damn thing up.
Oh, pick the whole easel up. There you go. So anyway, Bago's going to grab one of the squadron patches. These things are 2 feet across. They're absolutely gorgeous.
That's
Pick
actually
the whole easel, Bago. Oh, there he goes. He's got it.
That's actually your patch.
He's going to show you my patch.
Significant.
This is a little higher. There you go. The Great American Bulldogs. That's made out of steel.
Steel.
Cut steel. And anything you want made, your squadron patch, your call sign. And he does whiskey glasses and beer glasses and bottle openers. Come up and tell us a story. Get yourself a bottle opener.
Absolutely.
In fact, give yourself a bottle opener, would you, Derek, as soon as you're done telling your story?
You know what? I will.
All right.
Thank
There
you,
you go.
Mikey.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Derek. Thanks for being our sponsor.
Indeed.
Absolutely. It's my
Derek's been a
pleasure.
sponsor with us for about 4 or 5 months now, and we are absolutely thrilled to have you. It's so much fun to talk about your good artwork every week.
Well,
We get
thank
to
you.
do that. So, and thank you for your service. Thank you for my freedom.
Will you
Yeah.
tie the bow
Just
on the
like
end
this.
of that "So There I Was" story?
So, and I'm stealing that story, and as you know, because we call signs. I wasn't the engineer on that particular crew, but I was there and heard it. And ultimately, what ended up happening was the crew had to reattack in a place that we were told not to.
Yeah.
To make sure that the equipment got to those on the ground that needed it.
For you Afghanistan veterans, this is the Korangal Valley,
Yes.
and it was a drop zone called Xander.
Xander DZ, very famous.
Only the Army would put a fob at the base of a valley that's controlled. The high ground is controlled by the enemy. Only Army would do that.
Well, they can do it.
Yeah. And so we were doing emergency airdrop to a fob in the Korangal Valley.
And I'll tell you what, hey, Derek, I'm going to hit you up for one other story that you actually told on another show that we had. But this will stop your heart, folks. If you hear this, what happened on the back ramp one night?
Oh,
shit!
When he said this, it ran my blood cold.
no,
Yeah.
correct. So there we were again over Afghanistan night, getting ready to do a 16 bundle CDS drop. And the load said they have some problems with the ramp and door. So I jump over the 16 bundles to go back there and help them out. Safety third, right, as Mike Rose says. And we're fucking around with everything, trying to figure out what the hell is wrong. And one of the load masters grabs me by the hips. And that's when it hits me as I've got my hands on the static line. I realize I'm 3 feet away from the edge of the ramp. I can see the inside of a cat because it's dark and that's where the Taliban is right there. But I'm not tethered to the fucking aircraft. So,
Whoa!
yeah. The oh shit factor hit. It was kind of like, pissing on a electric fence. I just grabbed a hold and let it be. So
I have no idea why it's doing it. All right. That is terrifying. My blood ran cold the last time I heard that happen.
it's okay.
Whoa. All right. Thank you so much, Derek. Really appreciate that.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you for being a sponsor.
Again, my pleasure and my honor.
All right.
Thank you guys for what you do.
Well, there I was, crossing the pond, and you could see that I wasn't exactly fond of all the shit I was wearing on that day. Now an F-16 is cramped enough, but it's even worse with all that stuff supposed to save your life. But we knew there was no way. you're going down the North Atlantic, man, it's over.
Well, since I can't hear a damn thing, I'm just going to have to assume he said it's over.
Why don't you get a toupee with some brains in it?